going to continue if anybody's cares to listen. Flint flew me out there, and I'm reading from an article in the Atlanta Journal. They got this because I was getting out of jail, can you believe it, for living in the National Forest, November the 26th, 94. So Flint wrote a glowing editorial praising Childers and kicked in $1,000 contribution. Childers commented, alleged the former congressman used tax money to what? Well, I can't. No, this was something that I can't read it. Kathy McDonald is the widow of Larry McDonald, the congressman. Oh. Okay. Congressional use. I don't know what they're commented and alleging the former what? Congressman used tax money to spy. I don't know what they're talking about there. If they're talking about, I don't know. But anyway, Kathy McDonald ran. Yeah, it was his ex-wife. He went down in the plane, Larry McDonald did, and I'd written about him. He was a doctor, and I'd written about mind control. Almost got killed. So here I am back there in '83 in the campaign, and Larry Flint was helping me, but he gave me, I hadn't had money in so long, he gave me $10,000. I didn't know he meant for me to use it for personal, so I dumped it in the candidate thing. I'd never run. You have to see the condition they left me in. But anyway, I'm going to tell us about Kathy McDonald again, this great upstanding citizen. She was found guilty not too many years before then. They didn't write about this in the paper. And she came in second, and Buddy Darden, the DA from Cobb County, which is where Warren and Rosina Matthews were killed. They were pathologists, and they become involved in all this about mind control, deaths to make appear of natural causes. And the people that shot him, one of them, they even said the woman, and she was hypnotized. And then later it got overturned, and it has totally been revamped, as I can see. Anyway, Kathy McDonald was locked up. Somebody that I grew up with, I thought he was a half-brother at the time, and I still love him dearly. But so I don't know what he can do and can't do, because he's retired from one of the agencies. They got him. He didn't say that. I know what they did to him. But anyway, Kathy McDonald was locked up. What was it? It was for prostitution, all right? It was in the Atlanta Journal, so hey, where's all that? So now, let me see if I can put this down somewhere, not get it confused. I want to finish this. Okay, I don't have all that. And there was a bunch more that should have been prosecuted, the people in the paper. Little pink circles accent the apples of her cheeks bone. I'm freezing to death. I'm walking. They just made a movie with Reese Witherspoon and made a hero out of, well, anyway, I'm not going to condemn the lady that she portrayed. But what I did was tell the truth. I was born kidnapped. I wrote about a doctor raping and killing, and there was a gag order put on it, and yeah, all this can be proven. Okay, I'm going to go pink circle accents. I'm freezing and starving. You want to be 2,400 feet up in the cold winter when it's freezing. You don't have a sleeping bag at the time. For a couple of years, you don't have gloves or shoes. It's snowing and freezing, and you're sliding around on it trying to find water, and a little mice comes out. They get all over your tent and pee on it, and the one of them even got in the water. I just managed to get and sit out there, and he froze in it. It froze that quick. So this is just a bit of what I've been through, other than the naked people that expose themselves there and peed right. I'm going to put it like it is. They peed right in front of me, pulled it out, and peed right in my face. And that's just a few times the things that happen. Children's faces are familiar around the shelter of Full Heart Knob on the Appalachian Trail near Troutwell. for at least 10 years, she has returned there to live on and off. I had nowhere to go. I tried to find my kids. I was hitchhiking. I was walking. I couldn't get it. They blocked me. I was blocked, and people let them do it. Okay, the U.S. forestry officials brought her to federal court. And you want to know, I'm going to tell this in a minute. You know who was, and I mean, this guy's way up there now. It's Goodlatte. U.S. Congressman Goodlatte. His office is next to U.S. Virginia State Senator Edwards, John Edwards. Now, then, I've been both of their offices. They know I was kidnapped. They know the whole thing. I had Goodlatte come out some years ago. Well, he didn't come out. I'd been in his office right next to John Edwards. A man come out and got on the elevator and said to me, if he helps you, he's going to be out there living in the woods and the forest with you. So he was head, because the rangers and all that in agriculture falls under the U.S. Forestry, and he chaired the agriculture committee. And now he's head of intelligence. He's over a couple and has been. The Intelligence Committee, and you should really look and see. I had it written down at one time. You might think she's drawn to the rustic shelter because of her love for the outdoors. Not so. I hate it here. It's cold, Childers says, still thinking about the hell she went through in a thriving, brutal ice storm in early March. As the wind howled and the frozen rain pulled out on her tent, she nearly died when she tried to get down the trail to town, she said. I'm not going to put this in because this is one of the people who would like to see me dead. The name comes up in this, I'm going to read you, but I'm not going into that now. Maybe if I make it and get to tell all this, I will. After leaving the storm, she returned to the shelter for one simple reason. I have nowhere to go. She stayed at the Roanoke Rescue Mission for a short time, a few years, but was asked to leave when she began upsetting residents with her tales of government conspiracy. Like, maybe you better get into all this and see that it's all really true, and there's nothing funny about it. There are options. Oh, yeah. Now, here's where they're going to come in and say you're nuts. There are options available through social services and mental health clinics, says Paul Egan. I don't even know this man. A district ranger for Glenwood and Peddler Ranger District at Natural Bridge. We want to throw in Eric Smith, and I hope you get to see what they just did. She doesn't accept that. She doesn't accept that she needs help. Egan said rangers will probably need to arrest Childers again if they spot her at Full Art Knob, but finding her isn't always easy. Rangers don't usually patrol the Appalachian Trail on a regular basis. She is often gone. You talk about framing someone. In a background check, you don't get squat. Who set up a residence in the forest? Well, remember, and this is true, and I'm almost afraid to say my own name, I should be living in Buckingham Palace. Forest rangers and others who maintain the Appalachian Trail worry for Childers' safety. I'm going to tell you somebody who was here that did help me, and he's gone now. He was a German doctor out at the Veterans Administration here. And Siegfried and Ursula, and I won't mention the last name. They truly were about the only real friends I had. Worry for my safety. Hell, they wish I was dead. They're saying bad weather, rattlesnakes, and thugs could hurt her. We're really afraid. It makes them sound like the good guy. We're going to find her dead, and we don't want that to happen. Egan said, that is the biggest bull you've ever heard. Federal authorities have struggled to piece together details of, this is all lies, this part. The part about me being up there, yeah. Childers passed and still aren't sure how she ended up living in the wilds of West Virginia. They traced her arrival in Roanoke in '86. This is true, October '86. When a Brit was on the bus with me, I had to get off. I had no money or anything, and she was waiting. She said my dad was still alive at that time. My dad was pretty old. When I was born, he was 45. My mom was 40. When I got to Roanoke and got out with no money, freezing to death, Had a ticket there bought by, I guess the sheriff got the Salvation Army in Abington paid for it. I don't know. I got out, and she said, we'll come and pick you up here. And I started crying.